What's the crack? Welcome to the Wise Up podcast with me, Dylan Murphy.
And I, Saul Duffin.
So this is a pilot episode. Tried our hand at doing it before.
And it was alright, but we committed too much to a bit. We tried to do a cold open and discussed about the cold open, and then it ended up being about half an hour of cold open.
Yeah. So I didn't even really talk about what the podcast actually was or what it was about. So this is take two. It's like, I guess the reason for the podcast, like what was your reason to want to do a podcast?
It's kind of something I've always wanted to try, and I went on your one back when you were doing it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I think it's interesting because, well, it might be interesting. It's up to the viewer to find out, but we both kind of do strange jobs, I think it's fair to say. So it's kind of sharing insights and tips. We work in a slightly creative field, music adjacent, and a bit of crack as well. Like,
I guess we'd decided that we were going to go for coffee one day, and it ended up rolling into pints, and then it ended up rolling into a podcast. We both sort of work in the creative field or whatever and wanted to do something loosely adjacent to that. For me, it's like, one, to encourage other people to do stuff, because I don't really feel like we had anybody helping us when we started what we were doing, and then two, to encourage us to do stuff, because even before we set out what we're going to do in this, I'm like, fuck, right, okay, I'm going to have to do things, so we have shit to talk about, and it keeps you on your toes and keeps you thinking.
100%, man, saying yes to life, which we both did pretty well in the space between our failed pilot and the successful one we're going to do.
Yeah, so I guess, like, in terms of the mission of the podcast, it's just to encourage us and other people to do fun stuff, tell stories about how we've done it, and have some sick guests on. And it's not limited to the north of Ireland. What we're doing, this is kind of applicable to anybody. And, you know, some people, I think we're talking a load of rubbish. Some people might like it, but I think telling the stories of what we've done and how we've managed to do it, and hearing from other people would be good.
100%, man. Yeah, it's definitely, I think, the best sort of podcast I enjoy. You learn about something that you're kind of interested in. Obviously, pretty blatant statement, like, but I don't think there's no real podcast here that I would stick on that, like, try and like, there's obviously a load of comedy ones and a load of fucking attempted comedy ones.
Yeah.
But we're here to provide a bit of value, I think. You know what I mean? A bit of creative insight, working in the world in 2023 and trying not to fucking do a 9 to 5.
Yeah, well, I guess, like, what for people that don't know who you are, like, what do you do on like a day to day?
Well, I run Yo magazine, which is kind of like a music and culture magazine based in Belfast, which is coming up to 3 years.
Ooh, celebrating the big birthday soon.
I know, man. It's mad, but pretty much the day to day is pretty different most days. Like, I'm always doing design for stuff, like whether it's for like social media or posters for stuff, the events, and then I work for the main man as well, doing their TikToks and social media and stuff, which is pretty fun. And then obviously run the events, so it's more like emails and stuff.
Yeah,
which is less fun, but there's a better payoff. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you get a good night accomplished.
Part of the bullshit, you just have to, not the bullshit, but the less fun shit that you have to do to just get back over the line, like.
Just like, it's my New Year, well, it was my New Year's resolution to get better at doing emails. I think I've kind of got better at it, but I still have a lot of work to do, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's even when I was thinking about, like, when I first started, like, there's a realization that the world is ran on emails. I remember, because you never use them when you're, like, younger. And then once you get into the email world, you're like, oh, fuck, I can actually, people do stuff over email, like, do you know what I mean? It was interesting. Just like organising like the first sort of like interviews and shoots for the magazine. I was like, fucking, the words all on email, like.
Yeah. And yeah, so you're doing like the magazine shit, you're doing the events, you're doing the main man stuff. And yeah, I'm doing similar-ish stuff. We're working at a magazine, doing the events and stuff quite often for them, writing, doing the social media, all that kind of stuff.
You're a full all-rounder for them, like.
Yeah. But I guess like we're doing similar things in that respect, and then just how we got into it, kind of there's no like one way that anybody can tell you how to do stuff. It's kind of just like attempting, failing, trying new things.
100%, man. It's also like a case of trusting your taste. Do you know what I mean? I think that's an important. That's pretty much probably the only reason why we're doing what we're doing. It's because we're viciously believe in our music taste and pace and things, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think you almost kind of have to be a bit of a snob in some respects, where like you just have to be really
just know what's good and what's not.
Yeah,
even if you can't really explain it. But I think that's like, obviously you do music reviews and stuff, so you probably have to think about why.
But it's weird, isn't it, how you like find the community of what you're doing, and it's an unspoken thing where they either just align with what you do and values wise and maybe the music and stuff, but you can't explain it. People just get it kind of when it comes to artists. Like we used to only do like hip hop stuff mostly, and then now we cover a lot of stuff like folk and trad, and it's people either get it or they don't. Why we're doing that, you know what I mean?
But it's always kind of, I think with district stuff, I always feel like there is that sort of curation to it, and it has like a kind of, I can't put my finger on it. Probably it's just it suits the brand, the sort of stuff you do. It's whether like if a folk artist is doing something else like aside from the music, it's maybe a bit cool as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like has like a whatever, like a music video. Or maybe it does have the hip hop vibe to it.
Well, it's even like just folk and trads having such like a
renaissance.
Yeah, and like people are putting a cool twist on it. Like you see Lankum and the Mary Wallopers and John Francis Flynn doing really sick stuff, and like yeah, it's just cool. But I think for us, this like pilot episode is just kind of explaining what's going on and what we want to do with it. And I mean, in terms of a rough thing of what we're going to do, explaining who we are, talking about every week, I want to sort of talk about what we've done in the past week. And I think the value in that is that we then have to fucking do stuff between each episode. So what have you been, we'll do the last 2 weeks. What have you been up to the last 2 weeks?
So we both signed up to do Seanchoíche, which you smashed that, by the way. You're probably nervous beforehand, like, but
both literally needed to do nervous shit, like completely before.
I was acting all hard beforehand, being like,
but
I'm not nervous at all, man. It's gonna be sweet. Instantly, it was like in the room, it was like, oh yeah, I'm fucking freaking out now, like.
But if people don't know what it is, it's a storytelling night. So it could be poetry or an old story. Like you could have written it, someone else could have written it, but they give you a theme every week, and not one single person's was the same format even as the other. So the theme was home, and you were up first. You've done it before. It was in Banana Block in Belfast.
Yeah, I was wasn't keen on going first, to be fair, like, because I've done it before.
Like also, we're shout out Ulster Sports Club for hosting this before we go any further.
100%. This lovely out of office, the top floor brewery in the building. It's a lovely wee vibe, and they've just released their beers in cans. But anyway, I had done Seanchoíche before and went up like maybe second last, so we could kind of read the room. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and like tailor my performance to the kind of vibe. But going up first, I feel like I just got lost in it and like trying to be funny.
But you have to set the vibe as well if you're going first.
Yeah, no, and I feel like I didn't do it.
I feel like you did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like I should have went off like a minute earlier.
Well, I guess like the whole thing is it's kind of like there was a theme. You took like a left turn in the theme at home, and yours was about
living at home with my parents.
Yeah.
And I love it, but it is something you just can't complain about because you always sound like a dick.
Yeah, first world problems kind of.
Yeah, it was like, fuck's sake, fucking roof over my head, and food in the fridge, just fucking scumbag. You know what I mean? But though I enjoyed doing it, like, I feel like I did get a few laughs, but I prefer the one I did last time because I started off doing like quite tender-hearted poetry, and then brought it to a weird place, but Home's a tough one, like, and then it's kind of like a tough topic. Like,
Yeah.
not really.
Because even the people that had like ones that were lighthearted ultimately had like a pretty emotive message at the center of it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I suppose that's the beauty of the night, because there's such a broad theme. You get anything touched on, like, but I think how long was your poem? It was like a minute.
so I had done it. I'd like, the long story short was basically I'd broken up with my girlfriend at around the time I'd been suggested to do it. And then I was like writing all these heartbreak poems, and then they announced the theme and it was home, and I was like, for fuck's sake, I have all these poems. So I was trying to write all these different things. But anyway, I managed to finally write a poem, and it was like 45 seconds, to a minute long. And then in the group message that they stuck us all in, they were like, don't go over 10 minutes. And I just went, for fuck's sake. So I had to create a whole, what would you even call it? Just like
it was a good story about your poem. Do you know what I mean? It was just like a bit of an intro that worked.
Yeah, that's right. Explain how the poem came.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it was a big distraction to fill the time. So there went
for 6 or 7
minutes.
You went like you were like self-aware with the fact that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
So it worked. Like I was like, this is the best waffling I've ever heard in my life. It was.
But
it worked.
That's why we're doing a podcast now.
100%, Matt. Fucking water those seeds.
But what do you think is like? What do you think scared you most about doing something like that? I know you've done a lot of public speaking before. What scared you before you'd done that? Before you'd done stand up? Before you'd done writing?
Man, it's mad because I used to literally be quite a quiet person.
Really?
I was growing up, like yeah.
Really?
Super socially anxious. Like you would freak out if I had to speak to the bus driver, and because it's almost like a vicious circle when you're like socially anxious, because you just make yourself a weirdo. Because your fucking fear is like, oh, everyone thinks I'm a weirdo here. Like, do you know what I mean?
So no matter what you do, it
just gets worse. Like, yeah. Like you'll fucking go to get, like, if you drop the change when you're fucking giving money to a shopkeeper or something, and it goes over here and I can just fucking like run away or something. Obviously, you're gonna be anxious after that because it's a fucking weird thing to do. Like.
Yeah.
But then for some reason, I can't remember why. It was probably fucking going to therapy or something, to be honest. Made me feel less afraid of social situations. And then I did stand up, to be fair, once before the pandemic when I was still in Manchester. And it was literally like fucking March 12th or something, like, do you know what I mean? So it was lockdown, like, fucking.
But what made you want to do it, like, in the first place?
I went and seen an open mic. I was like, isn't there fucking shit?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, I could definitely do this better than this. And then I ended up talking with a guy in a bar who, like, ran the night. He's like, man, get me on. And he fucking put me on the next one and smashed it.
Did you feel nervous before you did it?
Yeah, man. But I think it's like, a few times I've done it, I think the nerves are good for you, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, as I found out, the fucking feeling too confident means it's probably not going to go as well as you want it to. Like,
yes,
kind of like nervous energy is good to channel into doing something like that. As well as obviously fucking being prepared and enjoying yourself while you do it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Do you think? How did it make you feel after you did the first? How did you feel after doing the first one, the comedy set?
The first one was fucking amazing, man, because I got offered a gig by guy who runs the Frog and Bucket.
Yeah, Manchester.
Yeah, it's like a fucking pretty big comedy club.
What were the jokes that you told? Can you even give a?
I would not do them now, mate, to be fair. Yeah, nah. It was back when, like, fucking Jeffrey Epstein and all was in the
right.
Age,
Okay,
like, so
okay.
Pedo material.
Yeah.
But, like, it was topical.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I probably wouldn't do them now. I'll do them off camera. But
Patreon members can get it. That's what we'll do.
Patrons can get the X-rated content.
Yeah.
But what about you? How did you find? You've done like public speaking before, but nothing really like that. Like,
I was kind of the same. I wouldn't have said I was like socially anxious per se, but I definitely was not a confident person in like performing and stuff. Because when I was younger, I did like acting and stuff, and I always felt good doing that.
Yeah.
But then, do you know when you have like certain experiences in school, and then it just they're like ingrained in your brain, and then it just puts you off doing something forever. So I can't remember what it was specifically, to be honest.
You got bullied for it, like, or
there might have been something like that, you know what I mean? And then it puts you off doing it. But before, I would have done like acting. I was in school plays and stuff. What else? I remember I did beatboxing with 2 of my mates in a talent show in school, and we came second. But
who came first?
do you know what it was? And this is the grimmest thing ever. It was like a load of people. I don't know if they might see this, but they just did like lip syncing.
That was they beat and they got first place in the actual beat.
I know, kind of region.
Of course, man. That's actual talent versus fucking.
I know.
Maybe in your mouth.
I felt like the first we had 2 performances. One went really well. It was like the younger ones, and the second one was the older ones in school and assembly. But you know, like, you have no idea how it actually went. And then there was a video that went on YouTube. But back in the day, people had like fucking Nokias, the camera crap, so you can't even fucking see it. Like, but I mean, it was grand. But then after that, I remember it just was really in my shell, didn't really do stuff, and it took me to start doing like a podcast whenever it was like 2019, almost out of desperation, because I was just so unhappy, and I was like, I just need to do something. But even the public speaking thing, I remember being so nervous having to do that when I was younger, and then it just clicked. I literally don't know what it was. It was just, you have, even if you don't feel confident, just fake it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You'll do better anyway.
100%. Like, it's just the nerves kind of rub off on the crowd. Like,
yeah, people can sense it.
It's like fucking contagious. You're like, I don't
like
feel comfortable watching this person here. Like,
effect. Because I remember we had to do like poetry in like GCSE, and we had to stand up in front of the class, and I just didn't prepare for it. Read out this thing, and it was terrible. It was like talking about why you chose the poem, not even the actual poem.
All right.
And then when you get nervous, you can feel the class get nervous. You can see people starting to look away and be disinterested. That was the worst feeling.
I seen a video of this wee kid doing I Feel Good by James Brown.
Oh, on TikTok?
I've seen it. Yeah, it's honestly the best thing ever, because like, you can see how nervous he is, but he's still smashing it.
Yeah.
And then once he gets a wee like round of applause from the crowd, he starts busting out the moves and all. I feel good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's lethal.
But I think you're right. It's like the energy's infectious, but it's both ways. Like, if you are lighthearted, and most audiences, unless you're at a really, really fucking violent comedy crowd that's like there for blood, like most crowds will actually be sound, and they'll actually be empathetic that you're out there in front of people. Like,
100%. Would you want to do Seanchoíche game, would you? Or?
Yeah, definitely would, but it's more out of like, you know, I don't have aspirations to be like a writer of sorts or anything like that. I just want to get a thrill out of doing something different.
100%, man. Yeah, it's good, that sort of thing as well, because obviously you have to sit and write, which I think is something I'm going to try and do more, because it's good to just fucking, like, I've been trying to, like, instead of just scrolling through TikTok before I go to bed, it's just like, write shit,
whatever's in your head, like.
Yeah. Well, I'm working on a rom-com at the minute, man.
Oh, yeah? What's it about?
I don't know yet, man. I'm still working on the meet cute. So, if I get the meet cute,
is the protagonist you?
Probably, I.
Probably? What do you mean, probably?
Read about what you know, bro. Like,
yeah.
And then I'm also working on a sitcom with my mate, Lachlan, that, I kind of want to tell you one of the ideas for the scenes.
Yeah, go for it.
But I also don't want to spoil it, because it's the finale, like, do you know what I mean? And if it ever gets made.
Well, the reality is,
I'll tell you anyway.
Watching this, you're gonna just say it anyway.
So, like, alright, so the premise of the show is it's called Out of Print. It's about 2 fellas that run a magazine. And so, like, each episode is surrounded us interviewing someone for the magazine, and it's always like some eccentric, weird person. I'll not tell you the finale one, because that's good.
Well,
but
just
the first episode
is
a real thing where I had to interview someone like 4 hours after getting, like, finding out I was getting cheated on, which is a rough one. Like, but I'm gonna change it so in the TV show, like, it's just like pop stars like talking about how great love is and all, and like they're just really like fucking itsy kind of love's glass, man. And then I freak out. That's obviously a small scene in it, but it's a very elaborate and smart TV show. It's not made yet, but yeah, I'm just sorry to start writing before I go to bed. I found it. You were doing that. What's that way? How's that going?
I mean, basically the premise of the book, for anyone that doesn't know, there's like 12 weeks. You have to follow the tasks every week, and you write every morning. And I got to about week 10, and I've been doing it properly. And then I just haven't really done it, but I've been writing. One of the rules is you have to write every morning. I'm still doing that. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to finish it. It's going to be imperfect, but the idea is that by the end of it, you will do more creative stuff and you'll feel less like inhibited.
Right.
And I would say that I definitely have. Like, I went and done the Seanchoíche thing when I felt like I wasn't really doing much.
Would you say it was because of that book, like, or?
I'd say it had a big part.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
Sick.
Even if I was just trying stuff, like I was trying to learn to play guitar, and I haven't really been at it every day or anything, but I'm learning bits and pieces, like
100%,
and just trying things.
Yeah, that's good, man. Give me a link to that after.
Yeah,
I'd love to have a go on it. So what sort of stuff would you write in the morning?
It's literally just supposed to be like a brain dump, essentially, of whatever's in your head. And I find that sometimes I'll wake up and I'll start working and I'll be like, fuck, I have so much to do. But you write it all out on the page. Even you start writing shit, there's this thing it talks about where it's like you're supposed to write 3 pages every morning, and at about 1.5 pages, your like subconscious shit starts coming out, you know, things that you don't even know or that you wouldn't be aware of, or like things that are bothering you.
Wow.
And you put them out and then you're like, oh, and then just write them on the page. You feel so much better. You know they exist. And like a lot of the time, even just knowing that it's all there, I would just bullet point it on a sticky note after the important things that I have to do.
Yeah.
And then I just know what they are, because often I just run around forgetting what I'm supposed to do and it's all spinning around in my head. Like, but it's really good. Like, some of the tasks are really odd, like, and you think, why am I doing this? But you always feel more like willing to do creative stuff and not even think about it after.
Interesting. How long would it take you to write the 3 pages?
Like 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
Really?
So it is a bit of time, like, but it's...
I always thought it would take longer.
No, like, I've got a notebook that I just did. I've filled 3 notebooks since I started.
It's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
You do an Anne Frank. Okay. I was saying probably more happy than that.
It's probably one of them things, though, like, you're not supposed to read it back either. You're just supposed to, like, that's it, you leave them. I would hate to read them back. It's probably gobbledygook as well, you know, just the kind of shit. I don't even know what it is.
I tried to write a fucking diary when I was like, or maybe like 15 or something.
Yeah.
Like 3 days, and then lost it. And then like 2 years later, wrote another wee page in it, lost it again, found it. So I've got this like wee weird, kind of like, it's maybe about 8 years with like 1 page, 1 random day.
Yeah.
And it's always so funny when I find it again. I'm like, fuck, I'm right annoyed about that.
I wrote a diary every day when I went to South America for 3 months in 2018, and I've never read it back, and I have no idea what's in there. Like,
save that from when you're like fucking 60 or something.
I know, that's what I'm kind of thinking. But even if I were to read it now and then leave it again for another 10 years, I'd forget what's in it again. But I've not looked at it since I did it in 2018.
Yeah, that's good. Well, you should fucking find it, man, and write another wee page on it.
Yeah. Oh, it's full. It was weird. It was like the amount of time I was there was like the perfect amount to fill the book.
All right.
So it was kind of cool.
Lovely. That's love a good synchronicity.
Yeah, but that was the stuff that the book talked about as well, as like synchronicity and kind of things falling into place and just kind of surrendering to whatever's going on. It's cool. But like, even apart from that, just throwing myself into other things, like getting back into making like content and TikToks and stuff. Like, you know, sometimes that's just like you're just burning off energy and you're just like throwing shit into the void. But it's still fun to make videos and stuff. You know what I mean?
I was thinking about like how if TikTok was like, if I was like 13 and TikTok come out, I would be deep.
Oh man,
because I remember I like used to record like lip syncing videos.
Did you?
I'd never put them anywhere. Like what?
What did you record them on?
Just my phone. 303. Around
what did you call that one? They had a song with Katy Perry.
Yeah, your boyfriend, I'm not fucking scared of it. Yeah. What a fucking tune. What do you call it? O or something? EOO.
It's 3OH exclamation mark 3. That is a song with Katy Perry. Might have been same one must be.
They were playing here recently, so they were
serious.
Oh, they're still about.
Fuck me.
I know.
I'd love to be like a 1-hit wonder, 2-hit wonder band that could just tour off that, like even 20 years later.
Mike Posner, man.
Yeah,
he's one of the best 2-hit wonders.
But did you see I seen him. There's another one I seen on TikTok. Him talking, and he was saying sort of that happened to him. He had a couple of hits. And he fell off. He got shelved by his label, but then he went away and he's come back and he's kind of successful again. Essentially, like he's able to make a living off it.
Well, no, I think he had the one hit. It was Cooler Than Me.
Cooler Than Me, yeah.
And then he fucking fell out and fucking. I think he was still like writing songs and shit for like other people. But his second hit, I Took a Pill in Ibiza.
Yeah,
was about him being a 1-hit wonder.
Well, that's what the TikTok was, but it was hitting way longer.
Yeah. I thought it was genius.
That's hilarious. Took a pill in Ibiza.
Yeah, that's like, it's one of those ones that's just like, two wonder tunes so far apart. That's a good way to approach the music industry. Him and Michael Bublé, because Michael Bublé is eating forever
on Christmas tunes, like
yeah,
the seasonal thing just kicks in every year, like
big fat check every year.
Yeah,
about 4 Christmas like hits.
Each 17, like they're eating off that one song.
Did you watch the fucking Wham documentary?
I haven't seen it. You told me about it.
It's really good, man. I didn't know that much about it, but they're only together 4 years, and there's a bit in it where you're with, I can't remember the other guy's name. I'm sorry, it's pretty much what the whole documentary is about. Like, there's George Michael and the other guy. Well, the other guy was talking about, like, they were just sitting watching some fucking football match one time. They were like 19, and George Michael was like, "Oh, here, I'm away upstairs here." Went up for like an hour, came back down, and he had fucking Last Christmas. Just fucking.
Was this written in December? Like,
I can't remember, but he wrote it in about 20 minutes or something.
Jesus Christ!
And it's one of the biggest Christmas songs. It is Last Christmas.
Has there been any like big Christmas songs written in the last 20 years?
Mariah Carey is probably the biggest one. Like,
but in the last 20 years, though, like that's
I'm working on one as well. I'm trying to. I'm going for it, man. But now there's that bit. Well, Michael Bublé, is he fucking 20 years in it?
I'm gonna check this, but yeah, I don't know. There's not. When was the last big Christmas
Some
song?
real classics though. Like, this fucking Snow Patrol tried to do one or something.
That reminds me, actually, you're saying about Snow Patrol, like the other shit that we've been doing the last few weeks. So we had you DJ'd for the first time.
That's right. Come see me, Saul Duffin, in here every month. But yeah, I literally said, Johnny, who works in here, asked me if I DJ'd, and I said yes, even though I'd never done it before.
And we got messages in our group message asking what was going on, why he couldn't swap things. He had to use a crossfader, like.
Apparently you're not allowed to use a fucking crossfader, like, I don't know, it works working for me. But yeah, literally had a week to learn, and turns out it's easy as fuck. Literally the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. It was such crack. Can't wait to do it again. I couldn't wait to do it again so much that I'd done it the next day.
Well, you did it later that night. We had like an after party for Jordan Adetunji, who was playing with Snow Patrol, and that's why I was talking about Snow Patrol. So it was Jordan Adetunji, Reva, Seabackle,
Lucy Gaffney as well.
And then Snow Patrol, and then we did the after party.
Were you at the gig, were you?
Yeah.
I thought you...
I went to a bit of it, and then I went back.
That's right, yeah.
But yeah, that was sick. Like, Jordan's making crazy music, hyper pop, rock, R&B, hip hop,
Jersey beat,
Jersey club.
That's a new genre. I've not heard of this one before. It's a new one.
It's been around for a good while, like,
really?
in Jersey, but it's sort of, that's the weird thing about TikTok, like, that it just
all blends in together.
Yeah,
guy.
But he's got this music that he's making. It's unbelievable, and he's from Belfast, and he's like innovating. So he had that show. We did the after party, and he was DJing, our friend from Plain Sailing, and then you jumped up.
How do we go? Yeah. I'm just gonna say it, man. I fucking smashed them. I got people up on the dance floor, did that?
Yeah.
You were up, right? I was up sitting down. Next thing you know, you're busting a few shapes. But no, it's something I've always really wanted to do, but for some reason just been putting it off.
But that is the thing, like getting asked to do it, and that's the opportunity where easily you could have just said no. Like, it was imperfect when you did it, but it's better than not doing it.
Oh no, 100%. Like, obviously, fucking, I need to actually probably practice and put my hours in. But I feel like I say this all the time, but I feel like I've found my life's calling.
What is it? DJing?
Yeah. Doing podcasting as well seems pretty fun so far. Like, but it was just, I couldn't believe how fun it was. Like, do you know what I mean? Just playing tunes and having a good time.
Yeah.
Really big fan of it.
I've only really done it at house parties before. I did it for one district thing at the start in Dublin, an event we were doing, and that was fun, but like overwhelming because there's actually people there, and you can use a controller and it's smaller. And then you get up and you use the CDJs and the buttons are all over the place, like in different spots. That kind of freaked me out. And it's fine once you do it, but house parties, man, you see when you're steaming and you get on, but you're on that like perfect level.
Oh yeah,
you just don't think
just
about
it. That.
Just so much fun. Like,
I haven't even. I was thrown into the deep end. Like, it wasn't even that bad. It was for all good cause as well, for the Welcome organisation, Cans for Cans, collaborations with lovely Out of Office and the Welcome organisation. You brought down tins of food and got a tin of beer.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they do that again. I liked it.
Yeah, it was sick. And then even in between all that, like, I think it was just very convenient for us to be like, look at all the stuff we've done these first 2 weeks. I don't think we normally do this.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna have to fucking get creative for next week. We also should probably think about getting some guests on as well. Like,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in an ideal world, who would you have on? Like, if you could have anyone and you could teleport them here, they're here.
I was thinking the other day it would be an interesting one to get your man Adam Turkington.
From
He used to do used to run like Culture Night.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Because obviously Culture Night hasn't happened this year.
It happened the year before either.
I think it did, but it was shit. They've just fucked it by the sounds of it. Like,
and it used to be such good crack. Like, it was
it's so sad. Like genuinely, anytime I went to it, I mean, a lot of times I was in uni for it, so I missed it. But before I went, I was like, if I fucking by far the best night in Belfast, and you were like, you just have fucking Culture Week.
Yeah, because they did in all the other cities all around Ireland, like in Dublin and all, did it this year and stuff.
Fucking brilliant.
I think my dream guest.
Oh,
you're saying like someone that's convenient, or not convenient, but someone that you like to get on. Like,
Yeah.
I think mine would be Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk?
Yeah, I think it'd just be sick. Like, he always seems to be doing stuff in Ireland. Like, I've found so many clips of him. There's a video of him just turning up the skate in, the Bridges skate park.
Oh yeah.
There's a video of him doing that. Apparently, he was over to do the Game of Thrones tour.
Oh,
He went under the bridge to skate, and people just found him there and had videos of him.
That would be a great one.
There's actually a picture which we'll throw up here whilst we're talking about it, of him with a skateboard made out of a hurl. Have you seen this?
Oh nah, man, fucking
It's
sick.
It's glass. I'll bring it up here, but yeah, he'd probably be dream guest.
I would like to get Sean Evans from Hot Ones.
Yeah, he's
That'd
a
be-
sick interviewer. Like,
I know, man. I
such a
think
weird way about him, but it's just so good.
he's literally his mouth is on fire as well, and he still seems to fucking pull out some of the best questions
It's
in interview history.
It's fucking mad. Like, I remember seeing the one with Harry Kane, and I was like,
I don't watch that one.
it was so warm, man. It was just like, you thought
I just knew it was gonna be shit. Like,
not even like the hottest wings in the world will bring him out of his comfort zone and make him interesting. Like, he just
was
like just so yeah, this is quite hot. Um,
oh, fucking right.
yeah,
It's pretty hard to
pretty mad.
skate that, like, but
I don't know if he really can, but there's pictures of him on his honeymoon on the cliffs of Moher with Johnny Knoxville.
I was gonna say, man, I get married to Johnny Knoxville.
I think he got married in Ireland to his wife, but yeah.
All right, there you go.
But
I love those games, man.
yeah,
What?
skate. Oh, did you see the video of Tony Hawk actually recreating? Do you know when you had to collect the letters that spelled skate in
Yeah.
Hawks, and he recreated it in real life for the
Oh, right.
letters, and he had to go the other day.
No, I was talking about the Skate 3.
The game, yeah.
That fucking
Lethal.
maybe one of the best games ever.
Well, do you know what it is about all these games as well? They were the things that like got me into music and helped shape music taste.
True.
Tony Hawk's, FIFA,
Soundtracks were powerful,
Need for Speed.
right? Yeah, right enough, actually. Yeah.
I remember like hearing, like, I would have never have heard Motorhead. I would have never heard like
I push you on some weird shit like.
Puddle of Mud, or is it? Yeah, Puddle of Mud.
Who's that?
They have that song. I'm gonna bring it up. It was for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Soundtrack was incredible.
You can get the full things on YouTube as well.
Yeah, it was Blurry by Puddle of Mud. You'll definitely know the tune. Yeah, you're just introduced to music.
Jerk it out.
Oh, by the
Caesars.
Caesars.
So yeah, that's a fucking
What's
classic.
what's the best video game soundtrack that you know of?
Tony Hawk's were up there, man. Skate was good as well.
Need for Speed had that one, and it was Riders on the Storm, but it was an exclusive remix with Snoop Dogg on it, right? That you couldn't get on CD or anything at the time. It was only on the game.
Nice. You ever do the SingStar games?
Oh man, do you remember iToy? And you used to rub the windows and all. You could do the one where you clean the windows. Did you ever play that?
Nah.
On the PS2, iToy.
I don't think so
It
much.
was like a webcam, and you could like it was like
It was like a Wii
before the Wii, yeah.
Alright, fair enough. Nah, man, never played it. I remember I got the fucking just Tony Hawk game that came with like a skateboard controller for Christmas one time. Used to be like twice. Wasn't that good?
Well and good.
Yes. But groundbreaking, like, do you know what I mean? You can't win them all.
No, I think like FIFA 6 for me was like the best soundtrack that I'd ever heard. Had like Block Party, had like the Dubs, had so much
I
good
remember
shit.
hearing that fucking band, Jungle.
Yeah.
They were on FIFA.
Yeah.
And they're fucking sick.
Their new album's insane.
Oh man, I haven't stopped listening to it. Like, I remember, have you seen them in?
I've never seen them live.
I've seen them in Manchester, man, and they play like, I think it's like a 7-piece band or something with like fucking all trumpets and horns and shit.
Yeah.
But it's literally like the perfect dance music, only it's played by a live band.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like,
yeah, I was thinking then, so this pilot episode's been pretty loose, like, and we've just been chatting, but it doesn't have to be every week, but every other week or something, having like a loose topic, talking about stuff. And I was thinking when you talked about the Seanchoíche thing, and you'd sort of nudged me to do it, and I hadn't really done anything like that and put myself out there in a while. I don't know what it was, you know, when you just get in like,
you get comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. But what do you think was like maybe your earliest risk or thing that got you out of your comfort zone to start doing maybe the yo stuff? Do you remember what the first thing? Because there's always like
It wasn't even maybe doing the yoke stuff, but it was probably a plan to do a radio show when I was in uni. Kind of got me into the idea of fucking following your fucking dreams, man.
at the time when you wanted to get into video, or was it just
So it was just, I had dad sent me it and said, you should do this. And I was like, I remember I was fucking, for ages in my halls, I couldn't sleep because the room was beside the kitchen and like the fucking extractor fan or something was broke. So it was just constantly, like I literally didn't sleep for like 3 weeks, mate. It was torture.
Jeez.
Like, I was just like fucking scrolling on my phone, like literally delirious. I was just did this application for the radio station. Ended up getting it and fucking loving it. And then from there, kind of started like doing, just making wee graphics and stuff for my radio show and getting into the idea of like promoting something. And then obviously, pandemic happened. Fucking was in the middle of finishing my degree. And like you do graphic design, so I knew how to make a magazine and what went into it. So then just fucking applied that to local music. But in terms of the risk, I don't know, man. I suppose initially doing print was a bit of a risk because you don't know if you're it's gonna work out.
But even you deciding to do the radio thing, it's like a risk in a sense. When you've never done anything like it before, it feels like a risk anyway.
Yeah, no, 100%. I remember you can still hear it back if you want to. Like, it's out there, like. But just like I've listened back to it like years on. I was like, fuck, I sound like I am shitting myself, and I was. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was so scary. Like,
I mean, you were recording it on your own.
Oh, they had like a wee radio station. Right, it was pretty cool. Like,
that's cool.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, it was good because like there was a wee producer guy who like fucking was there to help me, and like I wasn't just like on my own. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, on the grand scheme of things, it's not risky at all. Like you're just sitting in a room with a microphone, like, but
yeah,
you're like, oh my god, man, let's go down the world.
But it is one of the things putting yourself out there for the first time is scary. Or even I think even before you go to uni and stuff, like, you know, and then you're like an adult-ish and you have to look after yourself and do everything.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a weird. What would you say your big risk that comes to mind?
The one that comes to mind, like, there's probably stuff before it. Like, I remember when I started Mapfield, which is like the hip hop podcast. It was kind of just like a platform, and it was music specifically, and it was just me and my mate Jack that lived with me and did the podcast. At the time, we were at uni and we were just creating playlists, and we were getting his girlfriend to create us wee graphics.
All right, nice.
We're sharing them. You know, no one cared, no one seen it, but then that even felt like a risk doing that. But the actual probably biggest risk that I'd taken, I was actually thinking this because the next Seanchoíche thing he was saying is the theme is first and last.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I was going on a first date with a girl,
right,
and I'd been emailing, so that was on the Friday night, and before that I'd been emailing all these places being like, I'm going to take it up a notch, I'm going to interview a famous artist for Mapfield, and I'm gonna get something sorted. So I was emailing all these like record labels being like, oh, I'm this platform in Ireland, we're one of the biggest things, just bluffing.
You probably were, to be fair, because there wasn't
at the time, definitely not, we hadn't done
right.
or anything yet. We'd made a few playlists, put it up, had a graphic.
Nice.
I was just emailing all these labels, and the Underachievers, who were like one of my favorite hip hop acts at the time.
Yeah.
Sort of, they're in the same crew as like Joey Badass and like A$AP Rocky. They grew up in the same area. They were playing in Dublin, and I had this guy, Woody Small, supporting this Belgian rapper. It was class. I'll send you some of his music after, actually.
Yeah.
And then I emailed the Underachievers, no reply. Emailed Woody Small's label, and it was Sony, and they got back to me, Sony Belgium, and they were like, yeah, let's set up the interview. And I was like,
Fucking right, man.
so it was a Saturday night, right? And I'd got the green light for it, and I was like, right, I've done it. Went on this first date, ended up getting really drunk, woke up the next morning, and was like, fuck, I have to go to Dublin.
That's rock star shit.
I was literally like 20.
Do you know who I'm interviewing tomorrow, baby?
No, it was like, I don't even think I talked about it. I think it was like 2 scunders. But I'd organized this. This is the worst. This is like the worst part. It hasn't even happened. Organized this, hungover as fuck. I had to work in the morning in the hospital I was working at the time. I was hungover.
Jesus.
Ordered, booked the bus, got on the bus, went down, had like a wee shitty camera, and I went, this gig is until 8 o'clock, and I'm here at, I think it was 1 o'clock.
Oh.
And I was thinking, how am I supposed to talk to this rapper? How am I supposed to organize this? How am I supposed to organize to get into the venue? And I get there, venue's locked. It's like 1 in the day. They're not appearing until like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, fuck, what am I meant to do? Didn't have a promoter's number, just had the label. They weren't responding on a Saturday to an email. So I was stood there and I didn't know what.
Jesus Christ.
Then I realized I don't have a microphone, I just have a camera. So I only had the camera mic. And I was like, even if I do find this guy, what am I going to do? So I walked around the back and there's a guy taking out the bins. And I was like, oh, I'm here to do an interview. And he was like, oh, were you here to see Patrick? And I was like, yeah, to see Patrick.
Fucking Pat, my man.
Just went in, brought me up the stairs, and I was talking. I just got introduced to this guy, an MCD promoter, and he was like, who are you? And I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. And I was like, oh, well, this is it. And I showed him out my phone. And he was like, oh, so you do hip hop stuff? And he was like, there you go, and give me an all access pass. And I was
the triple A.
so there you go. And it's sort of. Then eventually, the long story short was I met him, interviewed him. This is still on YouTube, I think, as well. I'll link it.
Oh, really?
Completely blurry. I was focused.
No
I didn't
way.
care at the time though. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
The audio came from the camera, so it was terrible.
Fucking
And then I remember I don't even know if I can tell this story.
You're in too deep here, man.
I'm in deep. Okay, so I had a friend that sourced plants for the Underachievers.
Okay.
And
A few rose petals.
few rose petals.
Bit of sapphire.
Ended up going with them to hang out after the show. So I was really young and I thought this was the coolest thing ever. Ended up getting absolutely greened out and having like nearly a whitey in their hotel, and was like really embarrassed that these like American rappers were like smoking me out, and I was just like really stoned, like sat beside them. Like it was terrible. But that was probably the biggest risk.
That's a good one,
to go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I was just telling me about Tommy Mac and Jimmy Bradley were in D12's green room.
Oh, I remember. I don't think you told me the whole story.
Well, we thought, obviously D12, like you assume they're gonna be like fucking a bit mad, like, you know what I mean? Like, so they've got that. What's their tune? It's like
Purple Hills. It's about like
it's just
Purple
taking-
Hills and
taking fucking
shrooms.
stuff.
Yeah.
So you rocking around, and I mean they're all sound as fuck, lovely people. But all I had was like literally it was just really underwhelming, green room. And to be fair, me and Tommy were probably the worst people to be in it. Tommy was just going, lads, I got the best podcast in Belfast. Like, what are you doing tomorrow morning? And I'm like, I don't know, man. We gotta leave early. He's like, go ahead, man. Like, blah blah blah. And then I had to fucking try and have a bit of their vegan pizza. And
Wait, they just on like a health kick, vegan pizza.
we're all like super like fucking dead sober vegans. It's like, come on.
I would not expect the D12 to.
I know, do you know what I mean?
But I think like those days, they've probably just burnt themselves out. Like,
Yeah. And it's weird because they had that song. It's like their biggest song is obviously when Eminem is on it. And they still do it. And my band will.
my band.
But it's like Eminem slagging D12 off.
Yeah.
That he's the leader of the band.
Yeah.
And he's just not there anymore. Like, so he's just doing this tune. Like, so like, what the fuck? But it was good giggle, man. It fucking, it was kind of like a last minute thing. You fucking forget how much tune Snoop Dogg has. Like,
Where was this? SSE Arena. So what? We get high.
that was a great tune back in the day. Yeah, the SASE. But yeah, no, I had a good time, but never meet our heroes, man. I used to be super into them too.
I was really into Eminem and them, 50 Cent all around that time. Loved it. G Unit, all them ones.
Lloyd Banks,
Yeah.
he had a few good tunes. I think, we were still kind of in the, because I was big in the hip hop, and then kind of went back there for roof. Like, but I still enjoy it. Like, but you've kind of stuck with it.
Well, yeah. I would have been into it when I was younger, then sort of fell into other stuff outside of music, and then got back into music when I was like 18, 19 a lot. But would you have played? And I'd always really stuck to hip hop, but now I'm even veering off just into.
You've got in a bit of soul and stuff recently, like.
Yeah, heartbreak will do that to you. Like, it just puts you in the different place.
It's the perfect stuff for it, man, because it just actually does nurture your soul.
There's that, and then a load of like just punk stuff as well. I've been listening. What else have I been listening to? Even trap music. Like, I've been listening to a lot. Well, what sort of stuff were you playing on your radio show at the time you were doing it?
Literally just whatever I was listening to at the week. So it would be like the disco, bit of fucking indie music or whatever. Like, just literally whatever I wanted. But I've always kind of been in to as much as possible. Like, do you know what I mean? I get kind of bored of listening to the one thing.
Yeah.
For ages. And it's also, I think it's probably a case of, like, in hip hop. I said hip hop really weird there, I feel like, but you kind of, once you, for some reason, I was like always interested in going back and finding like the samples and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Like, so once you get into like searching for samples and things, you kind of get into fucking anything. Do you know what I mean?
Do you have any samples like off the top of your head that is like one of your favorites?
I think the fucking a good one is the Charmels. Since I Had You or something it's called, but it's the one from Cream or the Wu-Tang. Fucking tune. And as well, the thing that kind of like bridged the gap for me was the mixtape, fucking like mashup mixtapes you get on YouTube. There was a Wu-Tang versus the Beatles one that I listened to. What? And it got me into the Beatles. And
oh, is that how you got into the Beatles?
Yeah, probably when I first started listening to them. It's probably still there, but there was like Wu-Tang versus Jimi Hendrix and shit as well.
That's mad. I think like
you never listened to that mixtape though?
Not that, but I remember like in 2010, 2009, that kind of time, these people used to do like end of year mashups on YouTube, and it would be like all the big number ones just mixed into each other, and it feels like TikTok's just done that on steroids for 1 minute tunes.
Yeah, I mean, it's mad. Like, there is some of the songs on TikTok, you're like, this is a fucking, I find so much good music on it, man.
It's insane. It's weird. Yeah, it's weird because you just discover music so differently now.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a big Shazam user, you've good music taste.
Yeah, you're always looking for something.
Yeah, like I love like Shazam. I think is maybe the best app because it kind of combines real world with fucking virtual world.
Yeah,
and see the amount that like we wear places that have found good music, and like if you're walking like Tesco and something, one of the workers was blasting, like, that's a fucking shoot.
Yeah,
I think that's how I got on the Dido.
Serious?
Tesco.
From TikTok, are you saying, or from
Shazam and something in Tesco?
Oh, okay.
It was just like fucking, here's the fucking pop and a half, or was it?
Is it because you had the big one with Eminem.
No, it was a weirder one. I can't remember. It's like Break On.
White Flag.
No.
Whatever happened to Dido? What's she doing now?
I think she had I believe she got maybe like fucking assaulted or something by someone in the music industry, I think. Or no, maybe that's Duffy.
Oh, that's Duffy. That's crazy.
I don't know what happened to Dido.
Let's just see what she's up to. Put in Dido and see, like, because I remember she had just like had a grip on the world at one point, like White Flag and stuff. Was a big one. What has happened to Dido? She's taking time out to raise her son. Reappeared on stage at 2013, where she reunited with Eminem at Reading and Leeds.
Wow.
2019, she embarked on her first tour in 15 years on support.
Oh, she's probably got COVID.
Yeah. She was born on Christmas Day.
There you go.
There you go.
So was my mate.
She might have been Jesus reincarnated then.
My mate was born on Christmas Day, and he was in the paper because like he wasn't meant to be born. He was like a miracle baby.
Why wasn't he meant to be born?
It's like his dad wasn't well, and fuck, just say, well, Stephen, if you're watching, congratulations on being the second coming.
There's I'm trying to see like some of my favorite samples. I was kind of distracted looking at my phone because there's this one that's like, I think it's so like one of my favorite ones, I think off the top of my head, is like it's an acoustic version of Britney Spears' Toxic,
Right?
and it's sampled on Mick Jenkins' Jazz. Have you ever heard that song?
Nah,
I feel like you'd really like it.
All right.
Really, really good. It's not necessarily a soul one or anything like, but it's just one of my favorites.
Got a kind of a nice bit of flavour to it.
Yeah.
And if we're talking iconic samples, there's, I don't know, I've been getting really into watching those videos of at Track Lab.
Oh man, that
They do like the sample breakdowns.
Yeah.
So that one fucking, Pete Rock and CL Smooth, they reminisce. So were you?
My God. Yeah.
They did the wee bit at the start. Tom Scott today, the wee trumpet bit. Your guy fucking New Jabs.
Oh, New Jabez, the Japanese artist.
Are always cool. Like,
He's insane.
R.I.P.
Like a goat of underground beats and similar.
Pretty much just made lo-fi, like, didn't he?
There's like the likes of Knowledge and like, and then all have come after him.
Fuck me, Knowledge's mixtapes are up there, like.
It's so
Yeah.
many though.
See,
So many.
yeah, there's one. It does that annoying thing where, like, I sort of get when producers just name them like fucking random letters and numbers and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know how you'd find it, but the picture of it is like, it's got purple on it. It's like a purpley one, but he fucking samples like "You Don't Know My Name" by Alicia Keys.
Serious?
What a tune!
Man, there's this guy, Foggy Raw, who's like a poet rapper.
Right?
Started off doing rap, but then he started doing these like spoken word pieces over just different beats. But he does like kind of reels and TikToks where it's like shot really well, and he just does like a 20-second clip, and he does one where he samples "You Don't Know Me."
Oh, right.
And man, then he got the co-sign from her. She was like, "This is incredible," and they appeared in a video together. He starts playing the piano and turns around and she's there.
All right,
and
cool.
released the song like.
There's a girl who I follow, and I think her name's like Senseless Optimism or something, but she has maybe some of the best social media stuff of a musician I've ever seen, man. It's like,
What does she do?
she plays all instruments and sings, but like those she'll do is like video where it's like, it's just her standing on a field playing, but she's playing everything. So it's like a band of her, and it's just like really fucking, she does like covers and stuff, but she has like original tunes are fucking
So like
sick.
in the video, she'll be
playing the drums and then playing the bass, but it's like there's like 5 of her.
oh, they're all cut into one thing.
Yeah, so it looks like a band of just her playing.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
it's
kind of
really
like
cool,
that. Did you know Kevin Parker and Tame Impala? He's the whole band. Is that meme like,
Yeah.
coming to life?
But she's fucking really cool. And
I find loads of good people on TikTok. Like loads of good people.
man, 100%. I've got. It's just like, it's perfect because it's obviously originally a fucking music based app. But what I want to actually say is like, it's weird because everyone's going on about locally in the local scene, like fucking how the local comedy scene's like fucking popping off. But like the music scene, it's still kind of fucking,
Yeah.
there's work to do, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it is the fact that the comedians are literally just on
TikTok,
social media and using it like fuck and making it work for them, like, do you know what I mean? Where I think a lot of local musicians still have that kind of like mental block of fuck, I'm not using that, like, do you know what I mean? I don't know what
I think it's like at this point, if you want to be a serious career musician, whether you like it or not, it's like 90% of people are going to have to use it. Don't get me wrong, you get other artists who
you get the
outliers do it, but like it's probably one of the easier ways if you're consistent with it to get your name out there.
like the amount of fucking, like, you go to these talks and stuff of like fucking the fucking top heads of all the record labels and like, if you're not on TikTok, we're not fucking signing you.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
and that's kind of grim in itself, but like
I know, but
it's a discovery tool as well. It's
Yeah.
not actually like people aren't going to sign you because you have one viral TikTok. They're going to sign you if you have a good song, obviously. But like,
it's just having the audience and like,
yeah,
It is. It's obviously it's extra work to do, like, but I feel like if you're fucking in any way inclined or like the idea of fucking being like making your art your income.
Yeah.
I remember
You'd be stupid not to use it. Like,
I remember one of the things, one of those talks I went to, some guy said like, all you need to survive as an artist is 5,000 super fans. So yeah, if you get 5,000 super fans, that's all you need to survive as an artist. So like you have like your fucking passerby fans that'll like maybe like a song but then not stream it, and then obviously there's like a fucking chart up to the super fans who'll like buy every ticket, fucking buy every bit of merch and fucking subscribe to your Patreon. Like if you have 5,000 of them buying something every month, you can fucking do it. And like it's never been easier to reach 5,000 people than on social media.
There's a class video that Brent Fayez did, like a short documentary, and he's fucking massive now, but this is maybe like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It was pre-COVID, and he was saying about how he targeted his super fans. So he would tour in those cities, and he would save money because he would just go to the places where he had the most fans, and he would know most super fans, and he would know they would buy tickets. Right. So he was able to use his Spotify data to like target the cities, go there, be able to sell more merch at the shows, know the shows would sell out. And like even look at artists like, for example, Mike, who I love, is not like a mainstream artist at all, but he is like a cult artist. People like, he has such a cult following, they love his style. He's putting up stuff on Bandcamp, putting up stuff on fucking merch and stuff up as well. People are buying it, and like, you know, streamings really do mean fuck all nowadays. Like you could have 1 million passive listeners and you'll maybe get like decent enough now from that, but in terms of like a long-standing career, you don't want fodder and like playlists. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's the thing.
You want actually
talk about
listeners.
It often is the world building.
Yeah.
Building a good world around you, which is like obviously having the tunes, having cool artwork, but having like a nice wee, maybe cool fucking side projects as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Just like expressing yourself as an artist in different ways, or bringing other artists into your wee world. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the collective thing is pretty cool. Like, as you say, the fucking title creator characters and stuff like that whole fucking group of like-minded individuals. It just makes it fucking more interesting as a fan, as you can fucking
delve into it more.
Just immerse yourself in someone's world through you. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's it. It's like making it feel more immersive and feeling like there's bits you can get lost into. And even with Tyler, you know, having all those different characters and like different eras, you can almost, you look at him wearing certain types of clothes, you know, oh, that's from Igor era, that's from like Wolf, things like, and you know instantly. It's crazy, like, but that's the kind of signifiers of different eras that these artists have.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, like, it's like my favorite is King Cruel, because he has a fucking universe rather than a world. Like, do you know what I mean? He's got about 6 different aliases, all fairly. They've got like a through line of kind of like a sound and an attitude, but a completely different like approach. To like when he's making music, or if he's fucking doing a film or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Skepta, he's a good example of that as well. Like, he's just done that. His fashion label, or has he always had that, or is it a new thing?
He relaunched it. He had it before, but also, you know, he started out on pirate radio as a producer and a DJ, and now he's DJing again. Like,
all right, there you go. Yeah.
You know, doing crazy amount of stuff. Like,
man, after my my fucking, I don't know what I was trying to say here. Well, I'm pretty much Skepta.
You're the Belfast Soul version.
Oh man, I fucking love it so much. I'm excited to play a bit of it, because it's just playing soul music and funk music. I think there needs to be more of it, because it's just, you don't rap. People, I don't know anyone who doesn't like it.
It's also,
they just
like,
don't listen
it's
to
universal music. Like, it does not alienate anyone. Like, your grandparents would like it, your man will like it. 100%. We were out on Saturday and everybody liked it, and we're in their 20s. Like, do you know what I mean?
And it's just
universal music.
100%. That's great. But I'm excited for this Soul Train Festival as well, man.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
So what's the biz of that?
So we're launching the first ever dedicated soul and jazz music festival on the 15th of February at the Mandel Hall. Early bird tickets are out now. Go and grab one if you want to be part of history and enjoy a fucking sweet night of music. You get on the August Charge, man. He's playing. He's fucking really good. Like
Nice.
he's like, he's gonna be massive. So we've got him at a good time.
Where's he from?
London,
Oh, nice.
but just a really amazing voice and like fucking catchy tunes. But again, just a brilliant soul singer. Like, you know what I mean? Has that fucking heart that is just.
If you had to create your own festival lineup right now, who's your 2 headliners? You could pick anyone.
2 headliners.
I think I can guess one already. So give me a venue in Belfast, right? And give me
Botanic Gardens.
Okay. And two headliners.
That's a great question, man. Why only 2?
Because I'm trying to make it difficult.
Okay.
I'm gonna write down who I think it is. One of them will be, and I'll if I'm right, then I'm right. But yeah, so you're gonna host. Tell me where you're gonna host your festival, what it's gonna be called, and your 2 headliners.
2 headliners would be Cleo Soul.
That'll
be perfect to get her, man. Her 2 albums are sick. Have you listened to them?
Yeah, listen to the most recent one.
Oh, man, how good
Class,
that? Like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Her and Lil Sims would be cool. Like,
Oh, now they could do the salt stuff.
yeah, that'll be a sick festival.
Where are you hosting it?
Botanic Gardens.
What's it going to be called? The Wise Up Festival?
Yeah. Just fucking Saul's big weekend.
I'll be mad.
Or the fucking. Oh, mate, that'll be brilliant, like, wouldn't it?
That would be sick.
The Summer's Day in Botanic Gardens, Cleo Soul, Lil Sims. That would be fuck. People will go to that.
Yeah.
If you're watching, do it for free, please. Or if you're watching and have a load of money, don't be struck on my idea. I want a part of it. What about you? Who would you do?
Okay, so you know what I would do? I would host it in what we're gonna reverse time, and we're gonna put it in the T13 warehouse that they did.
I think you can still do stuff in there.
Can you?
I think so.
Why not turn that into like?
I don't know. I think it's still there. Like,
Is that the one I'm talking about? The one that did AVA in that time?
yeah.
Still there? Well, we'll just pretend it's still there anyway.
Right.
I thought it was the Range, that fucking home store. Aye.
I don't know, man.
Well, anyway, we're gonna put it in there. We're gonna have Vince Staples because I want him to do a live podcast after.
All right.
I think that'll be class, like performing. But then he's also just a funny cunt.
Or would he do? It would be like a different day, or would it be on the night?
It's a day festival. We're just gonna maybe do it
You
during
get
the
the
day.
podcast first, and
You
then
do the podcast, yeah, and then he perform after.
that makes sense.
And then the other act, maybe Georgia Smith.
Shout, great shout. She has new music out as well.
Yeah, she released an album the same day as Cleo Soul.
Oh,
That was like a pretty heavy day. And I think like that's kind of a good segue into saying most weeks it'd be sick to like recommend each other stuff.
doesn't always have to be music as well. I feel like
No.
and fucking do a bit of recommend a good book.
Yeah, I'm trying to say, well, I guess like for me, The Artist's Way, for anybody that doesn't know about it, it's one of them that it's just, it really puts you out of your comfort zone to just try things. And it's not necessarily things that are difficult, but just maybe uncomfortable. So go and pick some flowers was one that I had to do one time. And I
Nice.
felt daft doing it.
Where'd you go?
Ormer Park, and just pick some flowers.
At the dead of night, did you? Or?
Looked like a fucking
Yeah, it's
serial
something
killer going
creepy
in
about
doing
doing a flower picking in the night time. Like,
Yeah.
I got Simpsons things where it's like Marge is looking out the window and she's like, there's just something so sinister about flying a kite at night. Bart's just standing there.
Because I seen one as well, and it was like a TikTok, and it was like stuff that makes you look like a serial killer, even though it's not that absurd. And it was like walking about with a glass of water outside your house.
Yeah. Or like
It's
a
just-
bowl of cereal or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Artist's Way, like, and if you end up seeing this on TikTok, there's so many people talk about it on there. Right. It's like a proper.
I'd recommend the song that made me feel confident enough to do music reviews.
What was that?
It's called Every Song Ever.
Is it a book?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's written by, I think a guy did like, he ran like the music review column in the New York Times for like 40 years or something.
So he
fucking knows what he's on
He
about.
knows his shit.
But the book's written like, split into like 15 chapters. You'd have one chapter would be like silence. And he would just write about like how the silence is being used in this song. But like, we make you listen to a song at the start, and then he would talk about it, and then he'd give you another, it would say it'd be like a jazz song, and then he'd be like, right, so they're doing it that way. listen to this fucking David Guetta song, they're using silence in this way. But like you can listen to the music while you're reading a book. And I don't know if it's meant to be doing this, but it was like weirdly each song was ending it after he was finished talking or like writing about it. I don't know how you can do that.
I had like a similar thing happen. This is another recommendation, Grime Kids by DJ Target. So it's a guy from Radio 1 Extra who was Wiley's cousin who basically pioneered grime with him, and it's autobiography by him. And there's parts where, you know, he'll be talking about certain songs, and then you're going and you're searching them on YouTube. They're like these rare instrumentals that him and other people were producing, and it's just the comments will be like 5 comments will be like, are you on page 6 and 7? Kids, everyone's saying the same thing. Nice. Grime Kids is a great book, and you know when you can tell that he obviously had a ghostwriter, I imagine, that helped him write it, but the way it's written just sounds like he's speaking to you, because I've heard it on the radio for years.
It's just having his voice like that.
Yeah, it didn't pull him away from who he actually is or anything. It was really cool.
I really want to get Norm Macdonald's book.
What's that?
You don't know Norm Macdonald? The best comedian that ever lived, man.
Oh, serious?
He just died like fucking 2 years ago.
No way. He
had cancer for like 10 years and no one knew. He didn't tell anyone. And he used to do this bit where I'd be like, he used to have a podcast, and then I'd be like, do like a wee news section. And he'd be like, oh, did you see this guy? And like just talk about like Hitler. And then like as we sidekick would be like, I'm pretty sure he's been dead like 50 years. And he would just go, oh, I didn't know he was sick. And then he would just like, there's like a compilation that came out after he died, and it's just all these comedians and famous people going, I didn't know he was sick. So he did like a fucking joke from beyond the grave. He's genius. What? But his book apparently is like fantastic.
So you recommend yourself?
I'm recommending myself. I want to get it. Like I probably buy it when I get home actually.
I think the last one I had was just the albums. CMAT and Mary Walpers both released albums on Friday. Both amazing. CMAT had this
opening last night, man.
She was doing a thing in HMV, I seen.
Yeah.
Crazy. She's absolutely flying. Like, but this second album in 2 years could win the Choice Prize 2 years in a row. The album, the opening track, California, is like one of the best opening tracks I've ever heard on.
All right.
Like,
I'm actually must listen to that.
Absolutely unbelievable. She actually has a track called Vincent Company as well. So, you know, she loves Birdie Ball. Yeah.
All right, there you go. I think, I think the Cleo Soul one was one of my albums that I recommend.
Why? What's good about her? Like, if someone's listening doesn't know who she is, why would
she probably has the best voice in music at the minute, in my opinion. And she does stuff with that band Salt, who came out of nowhere in like 2020 and just released like 2 albums of probably the best music of the year. With her new album, so it was kind of like a surprise release as well. Like, she didn't really tell anyone she was listening to it, but it is just a beautiful, beautiful voice and the rhythms and stuff as well, because she works with that producer Inflow. It's just beautiful music, man. Like, you can just play it on repeat and it won't fucking get old. And if we're talking about mixtapes, one of my favourite, it's only in my mind again because I was fucking playing it. DJing is a mashup on YouTube of MF Doom and Tatsuro Yamashita, I believe his name is. Are you on the Japanese city pops?
Yes, so not really. I've played a few playlists and channels on YouTube.
And this guy, he's like I don't know how you describe him. He's like the fucking Rolling Stones of Japanese city pop. If there's such
yeah.
He's a big name. And it's like, if you do it like Japanese city pop, it's kind of like 80s disco, kind of like just nice sounding, relaxing music. But there's some good bops in there.
Yeah.
There's some bops before, like I've just said, that's out there. But it's a mashup between that producer and I don't know if he's a producer, but he's an artist, and MF Doom, and it just makes me feel so happy.
I need to check this out, actually.
It's really good.
Yeah.
The first album or the first song off it, it's like, I think you maybe get about 20 seconds in before you're like, oh yeah, this is fucking class. Do you know what I mean? So there's that. And yeah, that would be my 2.
Yeah. Those are all good recommendations. So
fucking right. How long are we on here, man?
It's probably coming up to over an hour at this point.
Oh well, there you go.
First one has to be done.
Yeah.
Do
Give us some ideas for comments comment some ideas for us if you want us to do anything in particular.
Yeah, like creative things, experiences,
Guests.
hate.
Give us some fucking hate comments as well. Like, it'd be good to review the hate comments we get.
I would like to become the new most hated duo in Belfast TikTok as well.
Oh fuck that!
That'd be a cool grind to steal.
That'd be pretty hard to do, I think. Well, I think we could do it.
Maybe.
Yeah. But well, yeah. Thank you very much to listening to the pilot episode of Wise Up Podcast, and how good's that logo?
It's good. Literally,
Maybe my favorite thing I've ever done.
probably the best thing you've ever done.
I'll never be topped.
So yeah, this has been episode 1, episode numero uno, pilot episode. And yeah, peace out.
Peace and love.